Hello, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful matchup in Week 4 of Season 4, ALTTPR Open League. This is Spoiler Key Sanity, and that essentially means we're going to be going as fast as we can because we have all the answers to where all the items are. I am Hammerbro, and I am joined in the booth by Drosy. How are you doing today, man?
You sound so excited tonight.
I need to start low because it's going to get nuts, and that's just how Spoiler Key Sanity goes. So I'm going to start down here, and then as everything kind of builds up, I get to naturally crescendo from there. Doesn't make any sense to start high, then I got nowhere to go.
Fair enough. We could also discuss how a certain tractor hasn't finished the cropping yet.
We could, but I'm not going to. I feel like it speaks for itself.
But yes, Small Key to Skull Woods is in Sanctuary. How about that?
Actually, that's one of the nicer things to get early. There are a lot of small keys that aren't required necessarily to beat the game, but are nice to have. A small key to Ice, small key to Mire, small key to Skull Woods, I feel like all go within that realm.
Yeah, and Jester is doing an opening strat we see a lot here, namely the Houlihan strat, where while you're waiting for your pilot to read the log, you go grab 225 rupees.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea overall, because since we are going to be skipping a lot of chests, the ability to micromanage your resources is super important. You're not going to have nearly as many rupees, bow, or arrows, bombs, that sort of thing as you normally would, because you're not opening all the junk chests. So that's going to be something that we're going to see continuously. Watch out for your rupees, watch out for your bombs, watch out for your arrows, that sort of thing.
Now, that said, Ursula did Uncle while waiting for their pilot to read the log, and that actually gave a few bombs. You can see that bomb count of 3 right there, which is nice to have. You might need to bomb some stuff in CAC.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I don't know if that was intentional on their part, as if, they saw what it was going to give them, and then that was relayed over to Ursula, and Ursula went ahead and just grabbed it. Or if it was a situation where that's something they do every game, and it just conveniently came out to give you, a little bit of arrows, a little bit of bombs. But either way, it worked out this time.
Indeed, and those bush crabs are kind of nice with their blue rupees.
Yeah, not as great as it could be. But if you're going to sit here and grab them, or if you need money for bottle vendor or something like that early on, which our runners might or might not, it's nice to not have to sweat too much about it, as we do see some more bombs here in the mushroom spot and a sword. That's going to be nice to have early.
That is definitely nice to get out of the way early, before your pilot even knows what's going on.
Yeah, it's a lovely thing to be able to tell your pilot, like, personally, I'm sitting here running through stuff, and my runner's just like, hey, I got a sword. Oh, awesome. I don't even have to worry about that now. Let's keep moving.
Oh, by the way, we should announce, given that the things in chat and on the template haven't quite updated, that Akuhaish actually had to step in as Ursula's pilot because Iriel did not show up. So Akuhaish is not tracking, Spy is tracking instead, and Akuhaish is piloting Ursula. Meanwhile, Jester is being piloted by Plumerionite. Did I get that right?
I believe so, yes. I'm not positive of it myself, but I believe that's how it's said. And this is kind of an interesting situation because I don't know how they've practiced these seeds, but generally for our team, we only practice really with one pilot, being me. So it'll be interesting to see how Akuhaish sort of, comes in and how familiar they are with it and how that works out. So it'll be kind of fun to see it unfold.
It's also interesting to see how the pilots are handling safeties. There was a heart container right there in Blind's basement. Oh, as we find the Moon Pearl and the hammer in Cackwell. But Plumerionite told Jester about it. Akuhaish did not tell Ursula about it, so Ursula did not grab the heart container, which could be an issue because those are few and far between that they're like, not out of the way. That's the TR big key on the bottle merchant. Again, Zebes Frog Bar is going to need that, but they don't have 100 rupees at the moment.
And that's where resource management comes in. Sometimes it's merely a situation of Kakariko not having enough money. That is something that can happen, especially in Key Sanity. But you can definitely see like the pauses and hesitations that come with just not being sure maybe where stuff is, or not being used to having to read it as quickly as you can, because it's a lot of work to pilot a seed, especially early on, because our pilots don't get any free time. Like, you get the log when your runner starts. There is no prep time.
But like Ursula could have done the back of Blind's hut and gotten 30 rupees there, and then they'd be fine. But they didn't.
That's a good point, but they also only had one bomb at that point left over. So it's a situation of they may have been thinking, hey, I don't have any money, let's make sure I have this bomb so I can get more bombs.
And speaking of safeties, bottle of blue goo in the dam, green goo in the dam is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. You take any bottles where you can get them, and similarly, please and thank you to any mail upgrades. Mail upgrades are one of the kindest, nicest, most clutch things you can run across.
Looks like Ursula will be grabbing that bottle as well.
Yeah, which is not surprising. We did see a complete and total skip of the mini Moldorm cave, which is kind of interesting. So apparently there's nothing in there, because I can't imagine that Jester is looking at their one bomb and their bow and their master sword and thinking, I don't want to go in the mini Moldorm cave yet. So that's just a complete and total dud for our runners today. Ursula is running in here, so maybe we'll see there's something in here that maybe they chose to grab or not. Oh, nope, okay. Change of plans. Meanwhile, with Jester coming back, I feel like we probably have a fake flipper coming in, which could be anything from Hobo to Waterfall, to Zora's Ledge, if they feel comfortable doing an Enceladly. And Ursula's going to want to be careful here with half a heart and crabs that do far more than that if you get near them.
Well, you certainly don't want to get crabs in this seed.
You don't want to get crabs in any of these seeds, man. 2 hearts is rude.
But what is ice? Ooh! Well, that's important. That is now our Dark World access from Ice Rod Cave. So we have Sphere 1 Dark World access as well as Sphere 1 Master Sword in this seed. What is going on here?
Well, the Hobo gave us a book, so that's... can add that to the list of fun stuff. And in spite of this Dark World access, Ursula is headed over towards the eastern area. So I do wonder what's over here. Could be just some safeties. I honestly do not blame the idea of grabbing a little more than 3 hearts. Could be heading over straight towards eastern. Could also... okay, yeah, gonna head towards eastern. Without the big key, they're not going to be able to complete this dungeon, but depending on what's in here, it might very well be worth it to grab.
Could be a big key in here.
It wouldn't be the first time I've seen that today. Oh, well, never mind.
Or maybe they didn't realize that, yes, this is Key Sanity, you need the big key.
That's possible. It is super easy to get overwhelmed when you're looking at the pilot log. Like, it's especially early on, it's chaos. And yeah, we're seeing a little bit of confusion on their side right now. But we do have a sank start, so we'll see if they choose to maybe go up the mountain or start from Village of Outcasts and do some stuff. I will note that Jester over here taking that book immediately into desert, so I do wonder what's going to be hiding here. Oh, that is nice to have early on. And yep, Ursula going to be heading over towards Village of Outcasts, looks like. So we're going to have a little bit of divergence here, because I think Jester is going to be heading elsewhere. Not going to turn in that, not going to activate that flute just yet. So I wonder if we're going to come across a mirror here, maybe, and make that done in one swoop, or if it's just a situation where, I need to stop talking about what our runners are going to do, because they just decide to juke me every time, Drosy. Help me, please.
What am I helping you with other than Jester apparently never started his clock?
I just want to not be juked. I keep getting juked. There we go. All right, so we're going to be grabbing some bombs. That makes sense, because Hype Cave requires 2.
I was going to say, for a quarter, you can get your favorite song, and then you're really juked.
We live in 2021. Songs aren't a quarter anymore.
Fine, for $3, you can get your favorite song.
I was going to say for $10 a month. But yeah, that works too. Alright, so we got a small key to TR, and then a Thieves Town death that I'm not sure was intentional. I was looking the other way until I saw the big red. Yep, intentional. Hey, we have a free piece of heart from the generous guy. And then some flippers, $20, which is officially pod money, and a small key to, well, go figure, pod.
Yes, we will be needing quite a few pod keys here. Well, depends. I mean, pod is a pendant, so it depends what we need to get out of it. Like, if you have to get to Harmless Hellway or the Vanilla Big Key chest.
Yeah, that's one of the more interesting things in terms of piloting, is how many pod keys. And honestly, it doesn't even really matter if pod is a pendant or a crystal in that regard, because you can technically clear pod with one small key. If there's nothing in there you need, you can just go straight to the Bowlock side, go to the back, clear the dungeon, and be done. But that's usually not the case. We do have Tempered Sword, though, and at 12 minutes in, I'm pretty sure both of our runners are fairly pleased with this situation.
So, what are we digging up here, meanwhile?
Yeah, the sword.
Oh, right, yes, I didn't see Ursula do it. Sorry.
Nope, you're good. I will take a 12-minute Tempered Sword, though. Then you can just stay on 3 hearts forever, right? You got a Tempered Sword, you're fine. Alright, so it looks like we were getting the Hype Cave from Ursula. Meanwhile, Jester is presumably going to be heading towards Village of Outcasts, or at least to activate that flute.
Ooh, yes. We did have that pod key in those slippers. Wonder where the boots are. We don't have 13-minute boots.
Yeah, my guess is that they're hiding somewhere relatively deep, since honestly one of the first things you want to do when you have a moment is try to go chase those down, because that just saves time. And we like time here.
I hear it's of the essence.
Yeah, sometimes.
Time, see what's become of me?
We are actually skewed by 6 cubed, not time cubed, but I get you.
Oh. Yes, because there aren't time cubed checks in the game. I gotcha.
Oh, somebody finally got that reference. That makes me happy. Alright, so Ursula is going to be heading into everyone's favorite pendant pod with, I believe, 1 key in hand. With the bow, that does unlock a decent amount of chests. We can still get to the Terrapin room and the Dark Rupee room if we need to. We can also get to the vanilla big key chest and everything in the front. It's also a situation as that Popo just got launched over the skull. That was kind of cool on Jester's side. Anyways, wow, I got completely derailed by the flying Popo. Or Ropa, sorry.
This is interesting. Dropping into Pinball Room, but that happens to have the Titan's mitts. I don't often see people drop into Pinball Room, though I guess we had a small key that we can burn.
And that's the advantage of having that small Skullwoods key that was either in Link's house or Sanctuary. I don't remember which. But yeah, Ursula, going to go ahead and save that key for now. We also could get several pod keys within pod, as that is not uncommon in any sort of key sanity seed. Yeah, you need another bomb. That's unfortunate. And what makes it even... I don't want to say funny, because that's mean. But what makes it more ironic is that they don't really have a way to easily die here, and there's bombs all over pod.
At least they're only on 3 hearts.
Sure, but with an anti-fairy being the only thing over there, you don't really want to give up your magic when you have 3 hearts.
Also true. This is painful, though, going through this way, and, because we don't want to unlock the middle door because we only have 2 small keys.
I mean, speaking of painful, Jester's over here, turning in the smith without a mirror or anything to make this fun. Although I guess there is the flute in hand, so that's better than nothing.
Is this going to be another one of those forced mirrorless purple chest seeds?
We'll find out in a minute, won't we?
Yeah, if there's nothing on Smith, there's got to be something on purple chest, because why the heck would you do this otherwise?
Well, yep, there's your answer.
Yep. Not even going to claim your just rewards. Sheesh.
I was really, honestly, truly hoping that they were going to be like arrows or something so I could make an Aerosmith reference, but it was not meant to be.
Oh, dream on.
It's okay. Maybe we'll be able to band together and do it later. Don't laugh, it only encourages me.
I used to think the lyric "train kept a rollin' all night long" was "drink pepperoni all night long."
I don't know what sort of pizza they have where you live. But generally pepperoni isn't in a liquid state. Drosy, are you okay? Drosy, what?
No, but have I ever been?
Drosy, no.
Anyway, Ursula's back here with 1 key.
Salami is solid.
So, what did Ursula save that key for? We need to get something out of Rupee Basement, apparently.
I don't know. I can't function over liquid salami.
Hey, GT Big Key, that's kind of important. And we just quit out, so why didn't we unlock the middle door? Maybe we'll find out later.
Potentially because the other keys are in a really dumb spot, and they might want to kill him. I don't know.
Did you see what was in that purple chest?
Yeah, footwear.
Yeah. Well, that explains why they didn't get the boots sooner.
So that's kind of interesting. Because Ursula is currently running around with just nothing to help make this seed go faster. And this could be a situation where it, oh, wait. Okay, we're just going to do that's an interesting way to get to King's Tomb, but I'm not going to knock it.
I mean, you're going to knock King's Tomb because that's how you get in.
Well, yes, but that's not what I meant. Come on, you know what I meant by the pronoun it.
But we are starting to get our big keys. We've seen Meyer and Turtle Rock and GT. Still need Thieves and Eastern. If we can get the hook shot, we won't need the Harabig.
Yuck. Alright, I'm calling hookshot on Muldorm right now. And no, I haven't seen the spoil log. I have no idea, but that would be hilarious.
So it's interesting we're going up the mountain without the mirror. That means something has to be in Spec Rock here. And Ursula going to the middle. Oh, okay, maybe they misread the log, because yes, we know what they need is the Titan's Mitts.
And this is one of those really interesting things that you don't necessarily think about when you have someone reading the spoiler log. Your thought is, okay, it's going to tell you where everything is. But then you have places like Skullwoods, where there's a pot prison, a pinball room, the map chest, the compass chest, the big key chest, the big chest, and the bridge chest. And while you might be able to sit here and not be reading the spoiler log and have a decent idea of where is where, knowing that is not necessarily something you're going to get on the fly when you're trying not to internally scream.
I love how quickly you rattled off those locations and your tongue just rolled right over them.
It's because I'm a freaking pilot. I've seen them all 100 times. The funny thing is I didn't even name them in order of the way that you'd gotten them. I just they're just all here. Yeah, you don't have a key. That's kind of unfortunate, because of the way that was done.
What happened to Ursula's key?
Ursula used the key in the main entrance. The problem is that Ursula had the key, went through the left door, and then no longer had the key.
Oh, that would do it. As Jester picks up a PR small, and we will need at least 3 of those. I'm doubting we'll need a 4th. It's unlikely something's in lava chest, but you never know.
Speaking of funny situations for a pilot, consider having a small key in the vanilla big key chest of TR.
I've seen that happen in Key Sanity races. I saw someone accidentally unlock that door, not in a pilot spoiler race, but they were going through and just accidentally unlocked that door.
And they got bailed out.
Yes, by a small key.
I swear, I think I remember that one. Alright, so Jester is flying through Thieves Town here, which is... I don't want to outright say that Thieves Town is dangerous, because nothing does a whole lot of health. The crickets hurt and they can sneak up on you, but it's usually not bad. But with five hearts max and sitting on 2 hearts left, it's a little scary. It would probably work a little better if Jester remembered they had a tempered sword and those things one-shot pretty much everything in this dungeon. Because that does make things a little easier than just trying to play the dodge game. But you do what you can, and spoiler races are really... Wow, that was a clutch heart drop. Spoiler races are just really stressful for everyone involved in very different ways. Alrighty, so with 3 hearts, Jester here is feeling a little bit better because nothing's going to one-shot you. Everything... Well, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna shut up now. I opened my mouth, and,
I mean, at 2 hearts, things could one-shot you.
I know! I literally just said, hey, they have 3 hearts, they're fine, then they clipped into a spike, and I'm just like, you know what?
At least we're out of the attic and away from those evil crickets, which, take way too many hearts. I wonder where the male upgrades are that we haven't seen any.
Oh, they're both in GT. Don't worry about that.
Of course. So are the silvers, right?
No, those are on Vidi. Hey, speaking of Vidi, there's Bombos.
It's nice that we only need 1 medallion in this seed.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a really interesting thing, because regardless of what we need, yeah.
We could do pendant dice now if we wanted.
Drosy. Don't put that on our runners.
I mean, it's Key Sanity. Don't you generally expect to be diving pendant dungeons? We already had to go into pod for GT Big.
Yeah, but that was 1 item, and we were able to get out of there relatively quickly. There's nothing quick about 5 Hearts Ice Palace. Unless you're only going to the Pengator chest, then fair enough.
At least the blind script is nice and quick.
Yeah, that was really nicely done. Had an early spin that kind of threw it off a little bit, but was able to keep the health and do okay as Ursula went up and then down and might get cabbaged. Might also get dead rocked. Okay, avoiding the dead rocks. Maybe avoiding the cabbages?
Oh yeah, Ursula kind of needs that Thieves' Big, don't they?
Yeah, that would probably help. And yeah, a couple people in chat pointing out that that we were sitting here and have like a lot of these dungeons have a really, 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 really different set of priorities. Like in a regular seed, in like a non-key sanity, I have no idea what's going on. In a non-key sanity seed, Mire has 2 items, and Ice Palace has 3. In a key sanity seed, they can both give you 8. And that is a significant difference.
Yeah, and was that the Eastern Big?
Yep, it in fact was.
And what's Ursula doing sitting there on the game over screen? Are they giving Akuhaish time to figure out what to do next?
Potentially. Could also be a situation where, and this is something that most people don't think about until they've piloted several seeds. Generally, the best concept of running through stuff that I've found is to delete all the useless crap, just so you're not sifting through the whole thing. But then, just in case you do something incredibly stupid, you want to have a second one that's completely intact and untouched. So this could very easily be a situation where their pilot did not have a second one untouched and then perhaps deleted something unintentionally.
Oof. I'm sure when Spy pilots you, he never does the stupid things, though.
Spy doesn't pilot me. Why do you think he never pilots me? I don't ever let anyone pilot me.
Shoutouts to Spy for tracking here.
It's a good thing he's tracking this, because he would never be able to track a spoiler log. Like, love you, Spy. And it is absolutely because I can't do 5 Heart Green Mail Moth. I can't even do 10 Heart Green Mail Moth. Like, let's just be honest.
I mean, I can't do 10 Heart Green Mail Moth either. That makes 2 of us.
And that's why I'm the pilot for our team, so I don't have to. But yeah, Jester running here through Mire. This is another one of those situations where having a Mire key would be nice, because then you can just dash your butt all the way over here to the left-hand side and kind of save yourself some time, as opposed to having to come over here and grab a key from the right-hand side first. But it does look like we're getting a little progression, and Ursula is back at it.
Well, at least we don't need anything from the left side, which is good because we didn't have a fire source until right now.
That is a dumb spot for that lamp. That's a dumb spot.
Hey, at least it was in a crystal dungeon and not a pendant dungeon.
Yes, that's fair, but Fire Rod non-withholding, right? We have everything required to clear this dungeon. If you ignore the fact that it's technically out of logic unless you have a lamp, then you're sitting here, if this isn't a spoiler log, see, you're sitting here looking at Mire like, okay, I have the cane, I have the big key, all I'm really missing here is a fire source. So let's just wait until I get a fire source, then let's go knock this thing out. And lo and behold, the fire source, and perhaps the only fire source we might get for a while, is sitting in Mire. Also the hook shot, just because, meh.
In other news, the Dodgers and the Braves are tied at 2 in the bottom of the 6th.
La 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 la. No, I'm just referencing the Dodgers city.
Flute in desert map chest.
Yep, that is where Jester got it a little while ago.
Oh, right, of course. Jester has flute, that's how Jester in Mire. Would be difficult to enter Mire without flute. Me smart.
Yeah, I'd definitely have to clip that, and so would they. And this is the downside of Spoiler Log. Jester has 6 hearts, and now has 3 hearts. And
Yes.
Tempered Sword makes this not grindy, but we don't have any safeties and we don't have silvers, and I don't want to die, and your stun prize is a single rupee, and that's not fun.
At least Jester's playing it safe and letting the rats go by, rather than, charging headlong into the rats.
Yeah, that's fair. But charging headlong into Vidi here is going to be a different story.
But Ursula's still not getting a heart container out of Blind's hut and still on 3 hearts.
Yeah, my assumption is that was skipped. That was skipped and deleted, and we're never going to see that one ever again.
Right, I would just think that at some point Ursula might want a heart or 2.
Yes, but if the pilot doesn't see it, then it's not really gonna help. And now we start playing the eyeball game. Okay.
that was a sound.
If you're unfamiliar with it, these eyeballs will kill on 1 hit. There's a reason I made that noise.
That is true, and we have no invincibility items either.
Also, a note, just in case you're curious, the entire right-hand, very corner of this screen is you're invulnerable to the damage. So, so what Jester could do...
Jester wasn't invulnerable.
No. What I mean is what Jester could have done is gone up to the top right corner and been relatively safe there, at least from the lightning, and just had to worry about the eyeballs and then spam the slash button. Because the goo doesn't damage you. But that's not something widely known, and it's still terrifying to get your butt up there and know that you're passing within 10 pixels of an eyeball that could pop out and say hello at any point.
I'm getting curious about where the heck the mail upgrades are. I think I may actually open the spoiler log here.
Cheater. I mean, I could do it. That's fine. I'm a pilot. I can do it. Give me a second. I'll just go look at it. I also don't know that we're actually allowed to talk about it until we're at a point where the runners aren't going to get it. But since you're an admin, what are your thoughts?
Well, my thought is that one of them is behind the coffee break, so I'm pretty sure we're not getting that one. I won't spoil the other one.
Oh, man. I am a pilot. I swear I'm a pilot, and I swear I didn't just type in mail into the freaking spoiler log, like they call it mail and not progressive armor.
Yeah, don't you love how if you search for flute, it gives you flute spot, aka dig spot, but if you want to know where the flute is, you have to search for ocarina.
See, that's actually a good idea because it differentiates between the two. I don't want to accidentally do that, and I'm actually kind of aggravated that the mushroom spot is just called mushroom. That's annoying. I don't want to know that. And the fact that the potion shop is called the potion shop and not something like the mushroom turn-in is aggravating. I'll get off my high horse
now. We did find... Whoa! Mirror and Ice Rod in Paradox Cave, as well as another pod small. That should make pod routing a bit easier with that extra small. I mean, we didn't need to get that GT big particularly urgently, so now Jester can open the middle door and do all sorts of fun things in pod.
Yeah, that's fair. Assuming there's nothing else required in there, which I wouldn't think there is, but, pod is a very mysterious dungeon with 14 locations, so...
But 2 of them are right out without the big key.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. But then that still makes it 12, which is more dense than everywhere except for GT and TR. And for TR, I believe there's 7 items locked behind the big key, so don't get bouldered. Man, these cabbages are terrible. Speaking
Yeah,
of terrible,
I had to count very slowly. I'm slow at counting, but yes, 7 items behind the big key.
I'm telling you, man, piloting is great. Speaking of terrible, so we got a Soma Cane. What do you think about just, jumping into TR real quick?
I mean, hey, if Fire Rod's in TR, why not?
I mean, even if it's not, there might be something in there that requires it. Or it could be in Hookshot Cave. That'd be kind of funny.
What do we got here in Hookshot Cave? Oh, nice safety. As Ursula grabs their Thieves' Big Key, not getting cabbage this time. Jester mirroring here.
Yeah, with 2 hearts green mail, I don't blame them. Lionel's hurt.
Yeah, I guess so. At least you have Tempered Sword, though, so you can actually charge a Lionel and, besides Dead Rock's hurt, too.
Yeah, that's fair, but Dead Rocks aren't going to one-shot you at 2 hearts, whereas even the Fireballs will take you out. Oh, that's a dumb spot for that. No, don't do it.
Don't save and quit. You want to do TR.
Well, even if you don't want to... if there's nothing in there, it doesn't really matter. But... Or if they realize they didn't have enough keys to get what's in there.
Here goes Ursula into Thieves. Hopefully with 3 hearts, Ursula really has the blind script down.
Yeah, it seems like every single one of these boss fights is terrifying.
But yeah, I really hope Ursula gets some more hearts.
I'm sure Ursula hopes that they get more hearts too. I mean...
Hera big, so... but we have the hook shot. Does Jester just not feel comfortable Hera potting?
Well, that's an option. There could also be something sitting in that big chest.
True.
Yeah, speaking of optional things that are irksome.
Irksome, there's a good word.
It's one I use a lot when I'm piloting.
But looks like Jester will get his GT Big Key, and with the Eastern Big Key as well, he can just mirror and do Eastern after.
Yeah, that's a good call. Definitely a nice bit of routing.
Where was the hook shot, though? I kind of missed that.
Somewhere. In Mire. It was in Mire.
Ah, okay.
In, I believe, the lobby chest.
And I'm noticing both of these runners pulled the swamp big. I wonder if something's there in the big chest, or if their pilot just saw Big Key and said pull it.
Yeah, now that's one thing I don't remember when they pulled it. I would argue if it's in... If they pulled it in CAC or somewhere near that, it's probably...
No, Ursula just pulled it in Thieves' Attic.
Gotcha.
Maybe think of it, I then looked at Jester's tracker, and Jester also pulled it.
So that could be a situation of muscle memory, if I'm being 100% honest. Because when you have situations like this and blind sell, it is super easy to just do something and do something else, and then look and be like, I didn't technically have to do that. Oh well. Could also be needed, but that's definitely something to keep in mind when they check an item like this. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see that pulled, even though we do need that.
Yes, but blind sell, you definitely need to pull that chest.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay. Raids saying south of Spike Room for Hookshot, and for those of you who are unfamiliar, that's the map chest.
That is indeed the map chest. Kern has a nice mnemonic about how in the Titan's Myth's locked dungeons, compass comes before map, and in all the other dungeons, map comes before compass.
That is correct, yes.
Ooh, and
That was bull.
Yeah, so that's why Ursula saved a small key. That makes sense, but then they didn't, Oh.
Oh no, sorry. I was referencing the blind fight. So Ursula was trying to stay down at the bottom to use the sword beams and not have to get near blind, but then blind just lasered down and took off 2 hearts like immediately. So it was a completely moot point.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the cape in Dark Maze.
No, I didn't even see that. I was too busy watching blind just laser Ursula's face.
Yeah, remember Ursula had a leftover pod key, so woulda, coulda, shoulda, Ursula shoulda gotten that cape, and then they'd at least have an invincibility item for all this.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's really difficult between the pilot and the runner to kind of be like, okay, what are you comfortable with? Who are we playing against? What do we need? Like that sort of thing. Because, like, every runner would love to have 13 hearts and red mail and silvers and at least tempered sword and half magic and powder, but some of those things just aren't really going to be feasible. All right, now things, this is where it goes downhill. Okay. Need one more. Oh!
Split second, and it would have been fine.
Yep. And unfortunately, that green goo that was picked up earlier is just going to offer no assistance with nothing that uses magic that actually can hurt blind or prevent, Ursula from taking damage.
I still think of these enemies as Rocklops, as they're called in the original guide, rather than Igors.
Huh. I didn't know they were called that. That's kind of an interesting name.
And the original guide also refers to Thieves' Town as Gargoyle's domain.
I do remember that. I always thought it was kind of weird that there weren't actually any thieves in Thieves' Town. Unless you're playing Enemizer, in which case there's always like 12.
Well, Blind's a thief. That's the whole thing. He was the leader of the band of thieves, as we're told.
Okay, so just dodging okay, we're good. Sorry, I'm just making noises right now. Oh! That was actually a little bit lucky. Oh, and there's the laser. Come on, give it to him. Good fight.
Okay.
Get your GGs in chat, because 3-heart blind fight with no burner or anything helpful sucks.
Ooh, and we're getting a key off library here.
TR.
I
was right! Yes, sir!
Well, I mean, how many keys do we really need? We'll need a swamp small at some point.
Yeah, swamp small. Desert small unlocks some items. Could have been an ice small. Potentially could have been a mire small, I guess, so that's relatively unlikely. So yeah, I guess TR was the common sense one, but it felt good, like, calling it and guessing correctly.
Oh, this is evil. I just looked up where the swamp small is.
I have not looked at it.
There are some things in life you just can't unsee.
Does that mean it's locked behind a mirror? Or it's on Laser Bridge? Like, I can't tell what kind of clever you're trying to be right now.
Well, once chat sees where it is, they won't be able to unsee it either.
That doesn't make any sense. I've got 216 locations in my... Wait.
Why didn't Jester finish off Skull Woods while he was back there? It looked like he was going to, and then he decided otherwise.
Because 6 hearts green mail moth sucks? I don't know. Maybe because there's a mail upgrade right here? Oh, so... That was... No! Why'd you do that?
You got... Okay, got a fairy, but still, you gotta get rid of the murder dactyls! But yes, given that that's there, well, I guess, Jester probably felt better about getting the cape out of Dark Maze with the lamp from Meyer, so at that point you attempt Vidi, but now that you have the cape, might as well get these silvers before you go back to Vidi.
Yeah, no, I don't blame that. As that murder dactyl again takes... Are we going to be... Oh, man, I thought that was going to be a whiff. Thought the murder dactyl was going to claim him twice. That's a brutal bird. That's a very brutal bird for our next week, which is cross keys. If you like cross keys, keep that in mind. And if you don't like cross keys, you can watch people just struggle at it. So that's fun too, I guess.
Cross keys is a lesson in just how many masochists there are in this community.
Whoa! Whoa! I like cross keys. Actually, that's a lie. I like cross world. I could go without the key sanity part of it, but it's fine.
So let's see how Ursula does with 3 heart vitreous. Oh, not even trying. Just went in there for the hook shot.
I don't think they have the big key to Meyer, so...
Oh, that would be a problem too.
And we are about to see that moth fight you were talking about earlier.
Yay!
No, moth is terrible. I hate moth.
I mean, at least we're talking tempered sword moth.
That's fair. That's fair. We're also... Oh, man. That was a clutch magic refill.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. That's the second time I've seen that today, and I was calming both times. Get out of here. Can I have one of those?
No.
Yeah, obviously. That's what... Yeah, random. Oh!
You don't do spins on moth. Oh, well, moot point now, but... Yeah, if you do a tempered spin, that does Buttersword damage. But Buttersword doesn't do damage to moth, because that's equal to spike damage. And the devs, in their infinite wisdom, were like, oh, we have to have spikes not damage moth because there are so many spikes in this room, otherwise the fight would be a joke. So that means that Buttersword doesn't damage moth either.
So I would like to make a quick addendum. Our wonderful rando devs have reprogrammed it so that Gold Sword and Gold Sword damage does Tempered Sword damage to moth.
Oh,
I thought... Vanilla game, you're absolutely correct. But if it were coded the way it were, and you came in here with the Buttered Sword, which is a thing that can happen in rando, then you would have to poke moth to death, which would be funny, but unrealistic.
I thought it was just that Buttersword slashes do tempered damage. I didn't realize that tempered spins also do tempered damage.
To my knowledge, yes. And that's only because tempered spins do Gold Sword damage, so it's coded the same way. Spikes, unfortunately, still don't do any damage, which I think is the most... Never mind. But...
Yes, because if you hit moth into a spike, that negates any damage you would have done to moth.
Yes, exactly. And that's where it's frustrating. If you consider the amount of health moth has...
Okay, Homemade Beer in chat is backing me up that tempered spins don't damage moth, even in rando. Huh. It's only Buttersword slashes that will damage.
I didn't know those were under a different class. I thought those were the same class. Okay, I've learned something new. Anyways, insanity aside, Jester is here to pull the fake sword. Never mind. And Ursula is trying... No, you need to be one pixel. No, one pixel less. No, you can't go left and then right. There you go. Okay, I hope it works. Nope.
Was there a fairy? I think there was a fairy when they killed an enemy. Maybe not?
It doesn't matter. At this point, it's long since despawned.
Yeah, but Ursula had, Ursula had boots. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't just go for the boots method, which is brute force.
Are you talking about the spin speed or the bonking off?
Hook speed, yeah. And hey, there's our mail upgrade that's actually in a place where we might get it.
Right. So as I was saying about Moth in any other arena only takes 4 tempered swings to kill, or 8 fire rod shots, or 8 master sword swings. That's not a whole lot of health. But when you see these fights that go on for an ever and ever and ever, it's because the spikes keep overriding the damage. And there's the big key to Hera. So this is kind of fun. Something that the spoiler log will tell you is what the Waterfall Fairy will give you. And with 3 hearts, I wouldn't say no to a fairy either. Speaking of that fairy, is that good return on investment? I'm not sure.
Break even?
At this point, I'm sure they're both wishing they could break cabbages.
So here's Jester and Meyer in much better shape, i.e. blue mail and silvers.
Okay, so I think Ursula is doing that because they really, really dislike that center area with the cabbages and the dead rocks. I think that's what's going on, because it's not like the third time I've seen that. And I think it's just a situation where they'd rather climb and then just drop down in the middle of it and have to go right a little bit and be done with all of it, than have to kind of climb the stairs and then go left and try to dodge the 2 dead rocks and the boulders and the everything.
So I was just thinking, on Jester's side, we really only need another Turtle Rock Small and the Swamp Small, yes?
That is what it looks like. It looks like we have all the items required. Now we're just missing a handful of keys, yeah. Very nicely done there with silvers. Got a little ahead of themselves with that, but Vidi is done, and that's going to be crystal number 4.
Looks like Ursula didn't hit the switch properly in the previous room. This floor gets annoying if you have the switches on orange.
Yep, being able to transverse it, though, without too much difficulty.
Yay! Ursula picks up a heart container!
It wasn't intentional, I assure you. Alright, so meanwhile, we have just a couple items that Jester is missing, and we are running into Pendant Ice Palace.
I mean, wasn't I excited about the idea of going into Pendant Ice? We've already been into Pendant Desert and Pendant Pod. Would it be a real key sanity seed if we didn't go into all of them?
Ursula, please, you have the tempered sword. Please don't. I mean, like, yes, I respect it. As a fellow hammer brother, I respect the use of the hammer against the worm. But you got a tempered sword.
Yes, it does raise an interesting question.
I suppose I should have tempered my expectations.
We'll just butter you up for next time.
Good luck finding it.
But hey, we're doing Ice Palace now without a big key. You absolutely have to hit that switch before you Icebreaker.
Well, we're not necessarily clearing it, so maybe not.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, I hope we're not clearing it. I don't want to clear Pendant Ice Palace, do you?
I don't want to clear Crystal Ice Palace. That's an exaggeration. Ice Palace isn't that bad.
I mean, if you have Cane of Samari and you can use everyone's favorite icebreaker technique, then no, it's not bad at all. Okay, Ursula, that was rude. That blue guard was just minding their own business. Hey, there's that small key to TR. And we are continuing on, so either a nice safety here, or maybe that small key to Swamp.
Well, look what's in this room. Now can we butter you up?
I can't believe that it's butter.
I can't believe it's not butter.
But
It was. That's why I can't believe it's not.
But that's a fallacious state. Forget it. I'm done with you. All right, and calming the rest of this seat is going to be Drosy, and perhaps Spy can jump in if he wants.
But hey, we are going to Cold Stare here. Excited?
I'm thrilled.
But hey, Buttersword does make Cold Stare really easy.
Yeah, that's fair. I can respect that. And yeah, Ursula, you still need the big key for
yeah. Well, that was a fast Cold Stare fight. Oh, look, it's the Swamp Small.
In my defense, there are two people currently in the booth, and one of them has been looking at the spoiler log. So.
Yes, remember, there are some things you can't unsee, and I'm sure all of us would like to unsee that Swamp Small on Pendant Cold Stare.
That might be a mirror bonk. Yep.
But we are getting reminded that this does put Jester in go mode. He might want more hearts, though at least with Blue Mail, that's not Oko territory on Ganon or anything, and he does have, the cape.
I'll tell you what both our runners probably wouldn't say no to at this point, is half magic, please.
Looked that up, it ain't happening.
Well, you don't have to ruin the fun. Some of us enjoy not knowing where things are, so we get to just watch the seed unfold. But no, half magic apparently isn't happening. Yes, of course I'm not looking at it because I'm a pilot spy. I've looked at enough of these things.
But yes, for what it's worth, half magic is on Pendant Landmo. I don't think we're doing that.
And for what it's worth, there's one bomb on that picket now because it managed to thieve Jester.
But we didn't pick up a shield for it to thieve. Oh,
yeah, that's fair. One less thing to worry about.
I should remark that the League channel Key Sanity Tracker doesn't even track shields.
That's rude.
But it does track the bug net as opposed to the Speed Gaming Key Sanity Tracker, which tracks shields but not the bug net.
I'm not getting into this debate right now.
Well, if Gamachu were here, he would tell us that tracking the bug net is absolutely essential.
I mean, in a swordless mode, absolutely.
Spy is also reminding us that there is that team, no bug net, no go mode.
Yeah, there are a lot of fun names. I believe, was there one last season, or is it this season as well, that was Shovel is True Go mode or something of that ilk?
Shovel is the True Go mode became Fromp's time, and we don't talk about that.
That's fair. What we really should have had one team do is put up a picture of them digging up a single bomb and just call themselves the Bomb Diggity. And that would be it.
Is that your team name for next year?
I think Spy is too fond of his little design for our team, so I don't suspect it's changing, but I might be able to convince him.
So you plan to continue being skewed?
Yeah, that's what this rando has done to me repeatedly. It's screwed me over.
Meanwhile, Jester is going into swamp back here, planning diver down.
Yeah, nothing really of note in the front, apparently. Oh, that was rude. The setup looked good to me.
Yeah, but sometimes it just isn't.
Yeah, I guess that's just, well. I also line it up the other way, so, oh yeah, okay.
Oh, you're one of those left side diver down people?
Well, I'm a left side person, so.
Are you a lefty? Are you one of those people?
I am one of those people. Fight me.
Okay, that block's definitely not in the right place.
That lightning wasn't in the right place either. Alright,
That
here we
block's
go.
too high.
You're sitting here worried about a
I
solo
think that
block.
block's still too high. At this point, you might as well pull the statue. Like, you've used half your magic. You haven't gotten diver down. There's no way it wouldn't have been faster to just pull the statue.
They've used so much of their magic.
Okay, there we go.
I love how your "there we go" was them deciding to quit.
Because the statue! And as we learned from They Might Be Giants, the statue got me high. Kids, don't do that at home.
Trossi, please. Although if you stand on the statue, I guess it would make you taller. Alright, so Jester is...
I am so resisting the urge to start singing The Statue Got Me High.
Spy, can we mute him if he starts doing that? I got yelled at for singing, so no, that's not how this goes.
Hey, I haven't actually done it. Jester did, by force of habit, try to get the flooded chests, and then realized there wasn't anything in them. Importance.
Look, man, it's hard.
I know, it's a very stressful week, seriously.
Alright, so we have in front of us a wonderful Argus here. Beyond that, we're going to be seeing a quick run through, hopefully, of TR. And then we have a climb of GT.
And Hera.
No, we don't speak of Hera. Hera doesn't count.
I mean, Hera takes like 30 seconds, but... Oh,
Well-
poor Argus, trying to do a cycle with the Argai that have all been, mercilessly slaughtered before his eye.
Look at the friends that I don't have anymore.
But did you ever?
It's me. What do you think, Drossi?
Anyway, that's crystal number 5, and it came with a bottle of blue goo, which is definitely nice to have.
Yeah, that is a thank you. That's one of those things I honestly probably wouldn't tell the runner, just so that they were like really pleasantly surprised. Like, oh, that's awesome. Yes. Alright, so it's time to climb. We have everything remaining that's required is up the mountain. As Drossi pointed out, we have a Hera, and then we have a TR, and then we have a GT. Probably not specifically in that order. We're probably going to swap the TR and the Hera, but still. With only 3 keys in hand, we are going to have to steal a key, unfortunately. That's actually kind of the good thing. If you have 4... nice fight there. If you have 4 TR keys, then you don't have to steal a key. You can just keep right on rolling. As Ursula picks up a Moth Kill and a 5th heart.
Interestingly, the final TR Small was in Castle Tower, which really isn't that bad a location.
It's not if you have a reason to go over there. So if there were something on the Pyramid Ledge or in Pyramid Ferry, then I would argue yes, it's super quick to get to, not a big deal. But if it's not, then you still have to walk your butt all the way over to Hyrule Castle, pop out either left or right-hand side, and go through it. And that takes a significantly longer amount of time.
That's fair, and we never had to get anything out of the front of Escape either, which would have at least put us in the general vicinity.
Yeah, but I don't think we had two swords quite at that point. Unless there was something that was required a little later, then we could have actually paired it up, because we did have Tempered Sword at 12 minutes, so if there were something in Escape that wasn't immediately required for Dark World access, we could have paired that up with jumping in there and grabbing the TR key, but otherwise I don't think it's worth it anyways, because stealing a key doesn't take that long. Yeah, we are flying through TR. We're going to have to steal a key here as Ursula is running through Eastern, this time with the infamous big key. So this will actually be a clear of everyone's favorite first pendant dungeon.
And Jester taking down the Hokuboku far away from that door.
Yeah, that's definitely a situation where you don't want to get near it, because I'm pretty sure the fort... that's a long trek for that last key.
Yeah.
That is what we call a note fish. I'll tell you what, this seed didn't seem too terrible. Pendant Ice was unfortunate.
Jester may yet sub 115.
Jester, you don't have any magic, bud.
Oh. But fortunately we have that blue goo.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure when Jester picked up that blue goo, he wasn't thinking, hey, let's use it so I can, pop a can of Samaria block now.
Yeah, I don't know why he had to hit that switch with the fire rod of all things.
Yeah, it's what you had active. I mean, I get it. I would have probably switched to silvers or something, but yeah, it's a thing.
Or even Samaria.
That's fair. Would have definitely used less magic. And since, half magic is conveniently hiding nowhere helpful, we're not going to be seeing that anytime soon.
And down goes Armos for Ursula's 5th crystal, but as we know, Ursula also needs to beat Cold Stare.
Yeah, 5 of the required 8 dungeons, excluding everyone's favorite GT. Alright, nice one cycle Trinex there. Now just don't get murdered by the surprise snake that pops out. I'm not gonna lie, that thing got me good the first time I beat this boss in the vanilla game.
Yeah, I mean, you don't expect it to make the weird turns that it does. Hey, another bottle.
Oh, no, that's not even what I mean. So, for all of the other bosses that you fight, when they go big splody, you're done. Like, you just get the item and it's over. So when this thing went splody, I was standing on him with, 2 hearts. And then he wasn't dead.
I mean, they call him Trinex for a reason, and you only took down 2 necks.
Well, how was I supposed to know that? I was 8. I didn't even know what the dude was called. It was just a weird mutated turtle.
You know why they call him Trinex, right?
Because Duo Nex was taken?
Because that's what the developers named him.
You're a pain in my necks.
Oh, and Ursula's going the bomb jump route. Interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those tricks that, like, Icebreaker is just absolutely wonderful, and it's one of the best things that's ever happened in this game, in my opinion. But if you haven't practiced it, it can be really, really difficult and seem really finicky.
If you haven't practiced IPBJ, it can be really difficult, as Jester passes up that heart container that was staring him in the face there.
And I would like to point out that if Jester falls here, that is that's GG's. Or sorry, Ursula. If Ursula falls here, because that's gonna be one heart. Although I think that lineup's okay. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Now just don't get whacked by the fireball. Jester, meanwhile, has a Moldorm with a butter sword.
And not attempting hammer strats on it.
You know what? That was Moldorm telling you where you could put your snarky comment. All right, Moldorm Mach 2. There we go.
Homemade Beer pointing out in chat that full magic meter and cape, and it only takes 2 slashes with butter. Why not just use the cape?
Yeah, that's fair. I sometimes have difficulty understanding where I am with the cape, even with the little shadow. So there is a game that we like to play. There are 22 chests in the basement of GT, and we're not opening a frickin' one because it's key sanity. Let's go, boys!
So we should also note that Ursula never went to the right side here and didn't get the Turtle Rock Small, so they will need to get a Turtle Rock Small out of that first chest in Castle Tower.
That's a good point. Alright, be careful here. The ice will not do enough damage to kill you, but the puffballs will! Okay, we're good. It's fine! This is fine. You have the fire rod, please! Thank you! Yes!
They heard you!
Yes! Oh, thank goodness, I nearly had a heart attack. Oh no, Jester's stuck!
Well, that's when you do need to use the fire rod or something like that to get out of there. Ursula now has the lovely Swamp Small Key.
Hey, Drossi.
Hmm?
I have a question.
Hmm?
So, the top of GT has 4 chests.
Oh!
3 of them that we
did not get a key out of the basement.
3 of them that we can reach without a key. I haven't looked at it. I don't want you to look at it either. What are your thoughts?
It is extremely unlikely that Jester will be able to finish this tower climb.
I mean, okay, so you figure there are 4 small keys.
Spy says this constitutes pulling a hammer, by the way.
Shut up! It was an enemizer seed, and I had to route for these 2 bozos that we were doing co-op. I was distracted both days. Leave me alone. We still won both of them. And we won, Spy, so hush. Also, you shouldn't bring that up. Jetters is in the chat. That's rude to the poor man. Anyways, Jester coming through the gauntlet here. This might be one of 2 gauntlet climbs.
Only 2 more floors before he realizes it.
I mean, look, like, there are 4 GT smalls. There's 3 chests that we can get. I'm not saying the odds are high, but there's a possibility. I'm saying there's a chance. What? Ursula
Isn't that
playing
like a
Ring
Jim
Around
Carrey
the
thing? So
Rosie?
you're saying there's a chance.
Ursula was playing Ring Around the Rosie in Swamp. I'm done.
Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Something like that. Butter Sword making pretty quick work. Landmo 2 is really hard with silvers, and I'll fight anybody who says otherwise. Like, silvers lag just enough that it's annoying even in the original Landmo fight, but then you add that stupid Medusa, and it's just like everything crawls. You're like, oh, I got this timing right. No, you didn't get the timing right.
Bonk off the top wall, then you fire left and fire right.
Yeah, but if you do that, then the Medusa's gonna whack you as soon as you come back from that bonk.
Oh, fine. Well, now we know it was in that much prized swamp big chest that both of our runners got the big key for.
Oh, okay, not dead yet. That was close.
Not quite dead. He's getting better.
What am I gonna do with you, Josh?
He feels happy.
Yeah, as Chad is pointing out, you cannot despawn GT with the Jinkle glitch any longer. If you're unfamiliar with that fun little bit of insanity, essentially what happens is right here, if you climb these stairs at the exact moment that the first torch that you lit gets unlit, then you despawn every entity in the tower. And you might think to yourself, well, that's fine as long as I've got enough GT keys. But you know what also gets despawned? Agate 2.
Hey, you know what's about to happen in the next room here?
There's going to be a small key in this chest?
No, there's going to be a Jester unable to progress further.
But there might be a small key in this chest. You don't know.
Wait, Jester, where are you going? I think mirror is the thing you want to do. There you go. And the sad thing, why are you going right? Unless there's one in Hope Room, but otherwise most people would... Yeah, you go left, and one left of Bob's torch, there's the key under the pot, and that's what you want. As Ursula gets their 6th crystal. But now how's Ursula gonna play Turtle Rock? They didn't get that small key in ice. They will need to go into Castle Tower or back into ice to get enough small keys.
They also don't seem to have the big.
Oh yeah, where was Turtle Rock big? We saw that. Was...
Give me a second. I'll go find it. Lord have mercy.
Bottle Vendor, right. They didn't have the money for Bottle Vendor at the very beginning.
Oh, that's bad. They might not even know. They probably don't even know.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, we'll find out in a minute. Is it the first chest in here or the second one? I'm hoping it's the first one.
It's the first one. Which is labeled in the spoiler log as Room 3.
Yup. Welcome to spoiler log shenanigans. Although, to be fair, it's not that bad because the other one is labeled Dark Maze. So that's pretty self-explanatory.
Right. And they're also in the correct order. So Ursula flew to 3. Yes. Wait, Ursula, where are you going? Hammer, what was that about?
That was me laughing because you just completely got juked. That's so much fun.
What?
Oh, man. I'm so happy. Aren't you so happy? I'm so happy. This is fun. All right. Well, we're down to a half a heart. Okay, we're good.
Got powder.
Yeah, but you had to get through that room first. Got the big key to TR. We're good.
And if Jester has to climb the gauntlet a few more times, Ursula can catch up.
Honestly, at this point, I think it might only take like one more if they had to go all the way to the top of there.
Well, they're both going to be on top of the mountain now.
Nice room there for Jester. That Soma block placement can be annoying to get right.
Wizrobes, it is impressive what glass cannons they are. Like, a heavy sneeze will kill a Wizrobe. Did you know that?
Well, yes, but if you're in green mail, they can heavy sneeze right back at you.
Right, well, that's the whole glass cannon thing.
4 hearts of damage. That's literally tied for the hardest hitting enemy in the game. Just behind, obviously, Ganon and Chain Chomps.
Well, presumably as a regular enemy, though, when you get mail upgrades, it decreases by half as opposed to, like, Cold Stare or Vitreous Eyes or what have you.
Sure. That's fair. The door is open! Alright, Moldorm 2.
I wonder if we're going to open Moldorm's Last Possession. If so, you're going to love what's inside it. Well, we first have to beat Moldorm.
I'm floored. Oh wait, that's Jester. Although honestly, I honestly think that Turtle Rock is a way of Nintendo like trying to justify the fact that Mario takes so much. Wait, you need that. Go kill that Pokey. Thank you.
Yes, did you see that chest?
I did not. No,
it's
sorry.
on the tracker now. Spy saw the chest.
Of course, Spy saw the chest. Spy
it's the bug net.
Oh, well. I guess that's a net.
You don't sound excited.
I suppose technically it's a net gain. I'd say I'm sorry, but I'm not supposed to lie on stream.
We appreciate your honesty.
But yeah, I feel like between the Pokies and the Chain Chomps, this is Nintendo trying to justify why Mario gets absolutely wrecked by these enemies. It's like, we'll just have them do a boatload of health.
And there goes Agatu. So now we have a Gold Sword Silvers fight with Ganon. Even on 7 hearts, we do have Blue Mail. Shouldn't be too bad.
Where did you say that other mail was? Landmo or something?
No, Coffee Break.
Oh, okay. What was on Landmo? Half Magic?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. What's in the big chest here?
The big chest of TR?
Uh-huh.
We might see it.
Fair enough.
Okay, dodge the bats and we're on phase 3 here.
All right, and so it begins.
Silva's my one true weakness.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
Yes, but Jester's about to get ahead of Ganon, so it's fine.
Bacon.
I mean, that's why he's got the butter sword, properly seasoned.
You eat bacon with butter? Are you trying for a heart attack?
I don't eat bacon at all, but, you know.
Oh, nice slash on the iframes for the equivalent of a spin. That's 1/12 of Ganon's health.
Oh, come on, that's well worth the swag. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, good. All right, and once this 1x3 bridge is crossed, you guys can get your GGs in chat. And there we go! Jester finishing in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 57 seconds. Time for another one. No, this one was rude enough.
Yeah, as Ursula takes down Trinex there. So let's see if they remember to get a small key out of GT Basement.
Actually, they have one small already, so I think they're okay.
Oh, why, so they do. Wonder where that was from.
I'll go look. Let's see, there was one in the big key chest of pod, one in the dark basement left was the big key. Pop Prison of Skullwoods had the other one, I believe. There was also one in the compass chest of Meyer, and one in the big key room of GT. It's rude. What are you doing to that port? Are we clipping the Lionel? Is there some fun you can do here?
I don't know. Oh, that's a forfeit, okay.
Makes sense.
Didn't feel like climbing the tower. I don't blame them.
And we are joined in chat, and in the booth by our runners and pilots. So how about that one, huh?
Lovely.
That was something.
I wanted to for our partner Raids to not watch the game so we could do the seed without a pilot.
I'm just deciding to play with a Lionel here on.
I mean, that's fair. You gotta make friends somehow, right? But yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts?
That long trek for the hook shot was lovely.
Yeah.
For the where? Sorry.
That long trek for the hook shot was lovely.
Oh, hookshot, yeah. Well, you had the boots. You could have gotten Meyer big and done it all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
We tried
probably
that.
my bad for not parsing correctly.
Well, Jester and I tried that, and Jester
Yes.
almost made it through, but it didn't quite make it. So, not really a big deal to come back.
Yeah, I'll need to buy more eyes and practice in my lawn.
Yeah, the pilot seat. The pilot seat is definitely demanding on both the pilot and on the runner for very, very different reasons, and it threw you guys into some fun early fights. It didn't seem like the routing was as bad as it could have been in terms of what the seed required you to do, but then like the 3-4 heart, have fun, good luck seeds there were some rough boss fights in there, and then there were a couple of fun little stretches of, hey, go do this. No, don't forget, do that first.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm staying on the
I
safe
think-
side this time. You can just sit there and fire all day long. I don't care.
It's fair.
I think Jester had 6 hearts heading into Misery Mire, and no upgrades except for Tempered Sword.
And I lost them
So it was-
all before, just
Mine
before the
was almost
boss.
like 4.
By the way, you, I think you changed the pilot right before the race. Did it work well? I know myself, I can't pilot at all, so
Fine for me.
nice. But yeah, it was man, I without a pilot, that seed would have been really rough. I mean, just the swamp key at the Ice Palace boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I gotta go to Ice Palace anyway.
And having to
Glare,
get purple
glare,
chests
glare.
without the mirror as well is not a fun check.
I think the thing that was really rough, or that I could really see biting somebody, is it's super late game. You run Independent Ice Palace, and you find like 1 or 2 of the keys that you need. Are you going to go get that third
Yeah.
one? Probably not.
See, that's what I had too, because I'm like, I have 2 of the 3 keys I need, and I kind of did old muscle memory, and I did a bomb jump. I'm like, oh shoot, I love Ice Broke, but okay, screw that key. Where's the other one?
Yeah, you did end up grabbing that one in the first chest of Castle Tower.
Yeah, that's why I like screw that key. We're gonna go just do that before I go up to TR.
Yeah, the TR keys were certainly interesting, in that you had the choice of which ones to get, not necessarily one better than the other, I think.
Not having to clear a pod is really nice too. It's been like a while since I've done that, I think.
Yeah, there wasn't anything in there that made you go or need a whole bunch of keys. You know, you had to get to the back, but it wasn't to the maze part, and you didn't need to do either the vanilla big key chest or harmless hellway. So that was nice, at least.
Yeah, and we even had an extra pod key, so they weren't super rare, which was nice. So we could just grab that
I don't think
cape
I
real
did.
easily.
Yeah, this key should have been a GT key instead.
No, I got one along the way. I don't remember where.
Yeah, I could have had you pick one up, Jester, but I was thinking we'd just grab that one under the pot.
yeah, me too.
It happens. It's a thing. There was one in Skullwood's pot prison, I believe, would have been the quickest one to grab.
Yeah, that's the one I think I grabbed.
Yeah.
Ah, makes sense.
I just needed to practice my climb.
Yeah, I saw improvement. Worked well for me.
Yeah, your second climb was a lot better.
It was
Yeah,
rage fueled.
I didn't even start climb, so I don't know where it would have gone. But alright, GG guys, and good luck in cross keys next week.
Alright, same to
GG.
you, GG.
Yeah,
Good luck.
GG.
Thanks for the race, and thanks for the stream too.
Yeah, and thanks for I think Spy hopping in on tracking and restreaming, since Akuhesh had to jump in and pilot.
Yeah, that was a quick surprise and my first time piloting.
Oh yeah, so you did. I mean I don't know where you went, but I've done it one time, and you can't do that once. It's so hard to get clear in all these sheets and all these names.
Yeah, it was difficult on my part, but we got through it. I'm gonna say we got through that seed.
Oh yeah, once you're in go mode, it's all straight sailing from there, right?
Yes.
So one thing I'm noticing for Hovering Sick Kids, I was just looking at the standings. You guys now have as many wins this season as you had the entirety of season 3. So how does that feel? You've matched your win total, and there are 3 weeks to go.
It feels great, and for Jester, I think it feels even better since it's his first win in the league.
Yeah, it's my first, and I thought we only had 2 last year, so it's even better. Pretty
Oh,
glad.
congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll have to remember to forget this key more often.
No, let's not do that.
I mean, who put his keys in a pot?
Ganon, I guess. It worked.
But yeah, we should probably pack it in here. Hammer, you're gonna hate me saying this, but thanks so much to Spyweaver for doing tracking and restreaming here tonight.
Yeah, Spy is showing that he's good at multitasking, which it's difficult. Tracking is especially hard for Spoiler Week, if I'm being 100% honest, because you look up and you've missed like 4 items because we're skipping everything that's not required. So definitely shout out to Spy for doing the tracking and the restreaming, and shout outs to our runners and our pilots. This week is nuts. It's absolute chaos in a can. And they did relatively well. I mean, the seed was not friendly in terms of health at all. So shout out to them. Definitely give them a follow if you haven't. And give the ALTTPR League channels a follow as well. I believe we have ALTTPR League and then ALTTPR League 2 through 4. We do not have any more races tonight, I don't believe, but we do have a handful on the docket for tomorrow, so keep an eye on the schedule. We
have one that's booked already, so I wanted to give it a call out. If you want to get up bright and early at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on a Sunday morning, we have Julo Ninja versus Shireen on the main Speed Gaming channel.
Huh. I might have to go see if there are commentators for that one.
That should be quite a clown race.
Cool. So we have a couple more coming up tomorrow, and as Drossi had mentioned previously, at the end of this week, we are starting Cross Keys. If you want a completely and totally separate Key Sanity Insanity set of races, we have that coming up starting next week.
Yes, if you're tired of seeing races finish in an hour and would rather see some nice 3-hour races, we've got it for you.
That's rude. I don't think I've ever had a Cross Keys take quite 3 hours. I mean, but it can happen. It's terrible.
I mean, during the tournament, freaking Error took more than 250 on a seed.
Yeah, Cross Keys has some variation with how mean it's going to be.
Yeah. But the point is, if the seed's bad enough, even, like, really good runners are hard-pressed to be under 3 hours.
Yeah, that's all down to connectors, because sometimes you have to go through 14 different connectors to get to a spot, and it just gets ugly.
Also true.
Either way, thanks for watching, and last shout-out to Drossi, my co-com. It's been a while. As always, it's a blast.
I'm glad we got to do this. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, now I'm going to go to bed, because I'm old and tired.
Not a bad idea either, but have a great night, all of you out there.